Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of Doc's Daily. We are here Friday. It is Halloween, October 31st. We are live in full effect. As you can see, I'm joined with Nick Menken and some other guy over there. I don't know. It could be Robert Ferrigno. Trick or treat, folks. I don't know. What's happening, everybody? We'll let everybody file in. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe. Let me pay some bills real quick. And as soon as I can't find buttons, I don't know why I can't find buttons here. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe. There's a free $60 account. Link is in the description of the video. You can click that, put $60 into your account. Use that on any handicapper, any way you see fit. At the website, docsports.com/free60 is where you go over there. New members, or if you want to be a YouTube member, I should say, become a YouTube member. You got to buy your own YouTube members jacket. You buy your own members only jacket. Only the old people get that, by the way. YouTube members, link in the description of the video. $4.99, $5 a month. Can't beat it. So head over there and get in on some action. For those, happy Halloween, Frank. Happy Halloween. I'm going to pull this off because we have graphics and stuff. Let me see if I can go like that. We can see a little bit more graphics when we go like this. I have some Halloween music playing in the background. I don't know if people can actually hear that. Too loud. That's too loud.
I'm ready for Robert's breakdown.
I'm ready for Robert to give Robert, just break down the day for me. First of all, Robert's the guy. He gives out full-size candy bars. I have faith in you. You give out full-size candy bars?
I wish. I don't get that many trick-or-treaters anymore at my place.
Yeah.
I'm in a cul-de-sac. All the people around me, their kids have grown up. So, my subdivision is pretty lively tonight, though.
Yeah. I get geeked about this because I'll have World Series game on in my garage. That's like my man cave is my garage. So like my wife will give out candy to the neighborhood kids. We don't get many trick-or-treaters. More the adults in my sub that'll come over and, bring a drink, take a drink kind of situation in the garage, Last year I gave out little shooters of Fireball. So every dad that came by got a little treat too, So, you got to treat to the
Yeah, you got to liven it up a little bit.
I mean, but we got a full slate of games on. We got some spooky games in the NBA. We got a World Series game 6. We got a few NHL games. We got a handful of college football games. I'm only interested really in one of them. I think anyway. I just think there's some garbage. It's been garbage football all week. Midweek action has not been great for me this year. Nothing that I'm really interested in. But how about you, Robert? What do you got going on this weekend? Tell us what you got going on tonight.
7-unit NBA play tonight. Hit my 7-unit daily prop play with Lamar Jackson going under his passing yards. Yesterday, 7-unit NBA tonight at 7 o'clock. I've hit both my 7-unit NBA plays so far this season. I will have a 7-unit college football play on Saturday that I'm kind of excited about. I'm on the same side as a couple different handicappers, as you can see in the BPA. And then Monday's college basketball. So that's really what I'm going to be geeked up about. I will be watching football on Sunday, but I will be reading and listening to a lot of college basketball stuff as I get ready for Monday.
Right. Be ready for Monday's show. I've already been told Craig Trapp's going to take over for me on Monday because he wants to talk all college football or college basketball all day, all day. Him and Robert, I didn't think anybody was so nerdy about college basketball until I met you. Because I thought Craig Trapp was the only other guy I ever knew like that. Like he could just I'll talk football and hockey all day. I don't care if we're at a coffee shop, at a bar, at a pizzeria. I don't care where we're at. I can talk that. You two knuckleheads can talk college basketball though all day.
Let's get down on some SoCon hoops, huh?
Yeah,
like Conference USA action,
Little A-Sun action.
Yeah,
right.
Yep. Love it.
Nick Menken, what do you got going on? From what I hear, you got a big weekend planned.
Yeah, the word around town. We got a game of the year on Sunday. Got a 3-pack there. The game of the year starts off at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're steamrolling here in our top plays, folks. We're 13-4 over my last 17 top plays for, I believe it's over 5,000 in profit. So we're steamrolling here. Feel good about the Sunday slate. Last night, I hit another 7-unit in the NHL with Philly. The Flyers got it done over Nashville there. So another 2-0 day on the ice. We're 9-0 in my last 9 selections there. So we're heating back up on the ice. So looking for a massive, massive weekend over here at Doc Sports on Tap.
Loved it. I just realized my other light.
I've lost 5 straight NHL plays in overtime. How about that?
Oh.
So I'm telling you guys, I know, and Jack, I know Jack's been following my draws randomly. Stop trying to pick the goddamn winner and just take the draw and walk on. I'm just like this Flyers Penguins game. I talked about this. Multiple people going back and forth. I'm like, man, everybody's telling it's kind of coin flip game. The line's minus 115 either way. Like the lines makers are saying that's going to be a flip game. Throw the draw out there, plus 320, walk off. Little sprinkles on the draw every now and then. Sprinkle money. If you don't have a $50 bill for the sprinkle on a draw here and there, what are we really doing? That's what I ask myself. That's the problem. I don't like college football during the week because of hockey. That's the problem. Hockey's the problem.
Hockey is a problem.
Hockey's a problem.
Yeah, hockey is a problem. Hasn't been a problem for you hitting 9 straight. So
yeah.
All right, Kay is asking about Florida State, Wake Forest this weekend. Nick, you wanna take this one?
Yeah, I mean, I gave out a free play on that, so if you want to go to the YouTube and watch it, but I'm all over Wake Forest here. I like the points in my back pocket. I understand that this Florida State team is playing here at home, and I believe they're coming off a loss last week. Did Florida State lose?
They lost to Stanford and then had a bye, so they had
lost to Stanford. Okay. So they're coming off that bad loss. I could definitely see a bounce back spot for Florida State, but just the way Wake Forest has moved the ball offensively, and they played everybody great in the ACC. You look at their loss against Georgia Tech, it was 1 point loss in that one. They definitely could have won that. So I think Wake Forest keeps it competitive, and I would even buy the hook, buy a plus 10 here for Wake Forest going into Florida State, who their offense looks bad right now. I'll say that. Inconsistent and just very, very inconsistent moving the ball down the field here. So I wouldn't be surprised if Wake Forest gives them a game here. So I like those points in my back pocket this week.
I'm going to play devil's advocate on that one. I think this number is a little high for a reason. Majority action on Wake Forest, but the line keeps climbing up. It's kind of now or never for Florida State. We're getting into like might miss a bowl territory. I do think Wake is set up for a little bit of a letdown after their upset win last week at home against SMU. Should have had that game in hand, really controlled that game, but just did everything that they could, fumbling inside their own 5-yard line twice to try and give the game away to SMU, but still managed to come away with it. The points are enticing. I agree with you. Wake has been the more consistent and been really the better team all season long, but there's something about that line movement and the unbalanced action on Wake Forest that has me thinking Florida State. Might be good to use in a teaser on Florida State in this one as well, or Wake Forest if you like. I don't know that Florida State's going to come out and lay the wood and win by 30, but it's an intriguing line movement. Let's just say that.
That's fair. I like your point about the teaser because that's right up my alley. Like, if I could find a game where I feel comfortable going either way on the teaser, I really kind of like that. Derek, this is not a me question. This is a Robert question because I'm pretty sure you mean college basketball and not college football.
He means college football. I'll take this.
I stopped watching Michigan State college football this year.
I really like Minnesota in this game. I actually have a rated play on Minnesota. I think Michigan State is in a letdown spot here after their rivalry game with Michigan, and they just haven't been very good. The reality is that Michigan State has been like backdoor magicians. They've covered 4 of their last 5 games, right? In all 4 of them, they have scored a touchdown in the last 2 minutes and 40 seconds to backdoor the spread. In 2 of the games, they've scored in the last 35 seconds to get in the back door. So, if they don't cover those games, this team is like 1-10 against the spread in their last 11. I had some higher hopes for this team. I don't think they're very good. I thought this number should have been around 6.5, 7. Minnesota is coming off a really embarrassing effort at Iowa last week, but Iowa's a really, really good team. I think it's kind of ridiculous that Iowa isn't getting more love in the top 25. Minnesota's been undefeated at home. They haven't played a ton of home games, and this is a short line. So low scoring, 24-13, somewhere that's right up Minnesota's alley, but this is 100% a lay situation.
Yeah, I don't want nothing to do with it. I've stopped
watching Michigan
State. Michigan State football. I don't understand. I just don't understand a lot of things with that program in the last couple of years, and I really I had high hopes for Jonathan Smith coming from Oregon State and all that. I really did. I had high hopes with him, and Aiden Childs just.
I'm not ready to give up on Jonathan Smith. I just think that this was a little bit more of a rebuilding reclamation project than it looked.
That's fair.
Them up pretty hard. And I mean, you're Michigan State. You're not Ohio State, right? Like you can't just drop in a new coach and all of a sudden keep the gears going and keep cranking out 5 stars. Like, you have to lay a foundation at some point. And that might mean committing to a guy like Jonathan Smith for 5 years. I know that's long and I know that's hard, but if you want to become like one of the top teams in the second tier of the Big Ten, which I think is kind of the ceiling for Michigan State's program, then it's going to take time.
That's fair. That's fair. But in college football with the portal now, I don't feel like, first of all, from a fan's perspective, no fan has no kind of patience, right? That's for sure. But even from not a fan's perspective in the rebuilding process, 5 years seems like forever, like an eternity when considering the transfer portal and so many kids that moving all around. There's not as much time to build that foundation now with so many in and out. So I think that's almost like a catch-22. You're damned if you do from a program's perspective, and you're damned if you don't.
But
you know what I mean?
Idiots. But people are idiots. The vast majority of people are morons, right? So why are we listening to the public? Like everybody wants what they want when they want it. Like we become a society of a bunch of big babies. They just want everything right now. Like it takes time. We've had this conversation, Nick, about Caleb Williams and the Bears laying a foundation. You have this in all sports. Like anything worth building takes time to build. It doesn't just happen like that. Like the teams like Indiana, everyone wants to point to Indiana. Like, see, look, Kurt Cignetti flipped around. That is an outlier. That's a fluke. If it were that easy, everyone would do it. Like, it's not that easy. Right. So find the guy, commit resources to the guy, and then grow something sustainable. That's how it works. And don't listen to morons, which, again, is most of the people.
How about James Franklin maybe coming to VT, baby? You hear those rumors?
I haven't. Like I said, I don't deal with the college football coaching rumor mill. It's so incestuous. Like there's just so many connections with so many people.
Everybody knows everybody.
Schools, yeah. Like
I heard they're closing in on the deal. It's just going to be Virginia Tech's highest paid buyout that they have ever in their history. So they're probably working on some things that.
They got to get financially creative.
Again, college football coaches, it's almost criminal. Like they're crooks. Like the amount of money that they get paid for just being mediocre coaches, it's ridiculous. I was reading and listening to some stuff about college basketball coaches and college basketball coaches on the hot seat this year. And it's like Hubert Davis is a big name for North Carolina. Is he going to get fired? Is he not? His buyout is $6 million. It's North Carolina basketball, right? It's one of the premier jobs in the country. You compare that to some of these college football coaches that have $75, $80 million buyouts. It's not even in the same stratosphere. All right, how about you?
Trio says though, hey, they didn't build the pyramids overnight, did they?
Right. Nice. Nick, this is the second guy that asked about the Bears. I know. We got to talk about this. What do you got?
Bears -2.5 from Mar, and Scott's just money line 10 unit all in on the Bears.
Scott, I love it. I'm with you. The 10 unit Bear down. Of course, I got to go with my Chicago Bears after that performance last week against the Ravens. Caleb Williams, he had a couple bad decisions in the pocket. He did not play good. I'm expecting a bounce back game out of Caleb Williams and the defense in all. I think the defense needs to stop up here. Cincinnati is going to score points. We'll see if Flacco Chicago is in this week, I would expect him to be in. If he's not, you got Browning in there, and he's a turnover machine. So this defense has to sharpen up here, and we got to get back to the run game. I'm on the Bears. I would take a money line. I would not do that -2.5. Just take them on the money line. I know it's a little juicy, but I'm over the Bears, of course. Bear down this week. I think they do win in Cincinnati here.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Not as a homer pick, as a just a handicapping pick. If the Bengals can lose to the Jets, they can lose to anyone. They just can't stop people. And Chicago is healthier on defense. That's number one. No Trey Hendrickson. We've kind of seen what that looks like for Cincinnati. The Bears didn't play well last week. That was an awful spot. That was my second biggest NFL play last Sunday. Like, I knew the Bears were going to get trucked. It didn't matter. Lamar Jackson, not Lamar Jackson. Like, Baltimore got healthy. Baltimore was coming off a bye. Baltimore was playing at home. It was an absolute must-have savior season kind of game. Like, they're a really talented team. Like, there was no way Baltimore was going to lose that game. The Bears have been kind of skating by, beating bad teams barely. But that's kind of what they're asking for this week, right? I don't love the Bears as a road favorite, but that just speaks to how weak this Cincinnati team actually is. I don't care who's at quarterback. They can't run the ball. Jamar Chase and them are getting frustrated. There's just too many holes on this Bengals team. Pick either side of the ball. Where Chicago, they're not very good, but at least they're stable, I feel like. And the Bears' problem this year has been mistakes, right? Like penalties, stupidity, general stupidity. Well,
Learning.
The Bengals will match them stupid for stupid on Sunday. So that will negate it. I just think talent will win out.
Stupid is as stupid does, right? I think the Bears, it's funny. Like, listen, I'll be the first one to bag on the Bears, but you see the Bears learning. Like, I really do. I see a young offense head coaching staff, young offensive talent on the field. I want to say off the field too. And you just see them shoot themselves in the foot. But I don't want it this is the nicest thing I'm going to say about the Bears. When they shoot themselves in the foot this year, it's like they're learning from it. It's different than what they have done in years past, where you're like, wait, hold my beer. The Bears are about to do something stupid.
Same
and then
shit
in this, right, you could say that every year. This year, I feel like the Bears at 4-3, they beat the Bengals, they're 5-3. I'm like, hey, Bears are hanging around.
Listen, let's see if the Bears and Ben Johnson are as smart as I think, as they think they are. This week might be the week that we see Colston Loveland actually do something. That's going to turn out to be one of the worst picks in last season's draft. Tyler Warren was obviously the best. We talked about it that week, Nick. Like, it was a joke.
Yeah.
And that's turning out to be, that might be the nail in Pole's coffin right there, unless that was Ben Johnson's call. But Cincinnati has been terrible against tight ends. They've given up the second most receptions to tight ends. They've given up 10 touchdowns to tight ends this year. They've given up the most fantasy points. So the Bears are dealing with kind of a cluster injury problem. DJ Moore, Roma Dunze, Olamide Zaccheaus. They're all banged up. They're all nicked up and have been kind of in and out of practice this week. This is the Cole Kmet Colston Loveland week. We heard all about, Ben Johnson, when he was with Detroit, he likes to use tight ends. He does this, he does that. Right. Well, if he's got tight end packages, this is the week to do it. And, you might see me loading up on some Cole Kmet props on Sunday.
I don't hate that angle. I don't hate that at all. I disagree with this wholeheartedly. I think he's a great coordinator. We'll see if he's a great coach, but I don't think he's a quarterback whisperer. Because who do you whisper to? Jared Goff?
Right. Number one overall pick who had been to
Jared Goff was doing shit before Ben Johnson. He's doing shit after Ben Johnson. I don't feel like that. But college football tonight, a handful of games. Anybody like anything tonight? I
don't even know the games on today.
North Carolina's playing Syracuse. I'm curious about it. I think Syracuse is going to win. I would love to see North Carolina win because I'm sitting on that futures ticket on Syracuse under. This would pretty much cash that ticket if they lose, because their only winnable games left are Boston College and North Carolina. They also have games against Miami and Notre Dame. They're not going to win either one.
Is Syracuse's quarterback still hurt?
Yes, Angeli is out for the year. They've been a mess without him. Ricky Collins will get the start. He has 6 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, and the offense is really cratered without him. North Carolina, I don't feel good about North Carolina because I haven't seen them beat anybody yet, right? Like their only 2 wins this year came against Charlotte and I forget who, some other clown.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Richmond, I think. It was an FBS. So Charlotte and Richmond, like basically 2.
Yeah, Charlotte and Richmond back-to-back weeks.
They should have won each of the last 2 weeks. They went for 2 in overtime last week and came inches away from a win. They could have won the week before that out in Cal, I believe. So North Carolina is tracking in the right direction. Syracuse is not. However, North Carolina doesn't get the benefit of the doubt until I actually see them beat somebody. Syracuse, for all their faults, they've at least played competitive football against teams like Clemson, Tennessee, stuff like that. So I think Syracuse rallies one more time, gets one last win in their season, and it just, the beat keeps going on for Chapel Bill.
I don't hate Memphis tonight, but that's about it.
Careful, lot down spot. I cashed with Rice last week against Navy. Remember, Rice went to the triple option this year. Triple option teams are always, always, always good in that fat underdog role. They start running the ball. They control the clock. Memphis was really fortunate to get that win last week against South Florida. That would have basically ended any of their hopes for the playoffs or for an AAC crown. You remember they were home underdogs. They had to come back in that game. They expressed a lot of emotion in that game, and this sets up as kind of a prime letdown spot. So I'd be careful about laying that big number on the road here.
I like that over with the Rice-Memphis. Rice last week, I had them against UConn, and they scored 37 points. And like Robert says, they run that option. So Memphis scores at a high pace. So I lean towards that over 48.5.
What's the over in that game?
48.5.
In the Memphis game?
In the Memphis Rice.
Oh my God. Yeah.
48.5. That's what listen, you know me, I'm a love a teaser. It's Memphis in the over in the same game. Like, I mean, that's it. That's the extent
I go Rice in the over. Again, wise man Arun Shiva say underdog over. I think Rice is going to be a little bit spry in this one. And Memphis can go hang 40 on their own. This Rice team lost at UTSA a couple weeks ago. They gave up 61 points. I actually love that over in that. Over and Rice.
I'm looking for Memphis team total.
It's got to be 29.5.
30.5.
Yeah, somewhere around
30.5 juiced.
30.5 is Memphis. What's Rice? What's Rice?
Rice
they gotta be 16.5.
17.5. Yeah, there's a 16.5 out there. 17.5 out there.
Everything over in that game. I like Rice. I like the over, and I like a Rice over.
Honestly, I don't like Rice to score. I actually like Rice not to score 17 here. I think Memphis comes out and just puts it on them, and this game ends up 45-10.
When teams have letdowns, it usually manifests worse on the defensive side. Okay, they played a team that runs a similar type attack earlier this year against Florida Atlantic, and they gave up 26 points. Now, they scored 55 on the road, but they did give up 26 points, and I see this game played more like that, just a lot of back and forth action. Also, Scott B, you asked, just to go back and put a bow on that Bears-Bengals, I have the under in that game as well, that 51.5.
Yeah.
Like, as we get into November and December, the totals are going to stay artificially inflated because we've seen a ton of scoring this year, but the weather starts to change, injuries start to crop up. I mentioned all those Bears receivers that are banged up. The Bengals, for what it's worth, their defense had a team meeting this week. That's not going to solve like how awful they are, but they might put together a good first quarter or something like that. And one slow quarter of scoring can keep a game down. We saw it last night. That total last night in that Miami Baltimore game was 51.5. That was really never threatened at all and never got close to that. So I'm on a lot of unders this week in the NFL.
That's fair. Vandy over Texas has been struggling this year. Dylan, like that game there. Also, somebody asked about the Navy North Texas game. That's a big one too. I don't have anything in that game, but I know Tony George put a free play on the YouTube because I made a thumbnail for it. So watch the YouTube, find that. If I don't have anything in that. What do you guys like here, Vandy, Texas?
Yeah, that Vandy and Texas game, that's a tricky one for me, and it almost made my card, but it was too good to be true. Just the way Texas does play at home does make a huge difference. I forgot who they just recently played here at home. Let me look
Vandy
on
beat Missouri last week.
They played Oklahoma at home, and that was the game I was on, Texas. Okay,
Yeah.
now you have a Vanderbilt team, obviously 9 in the country, coming into Texas. It's going to be a hard environment here, but if you're giving me over a field goal here with Vandy, we've seen him against LSU. You know this offense is legit, and Pavia, whatever his name is, that
Pavia, Diego Pavia, my
Diego
boy.
Pavia, the AK,
Yeah,
the broken
Robert
Johnny
Manziel.
Manziel, we'll say, in the SEC here. I think he does go into Texas, keeps this close, and if Texas does win, it is by a field goal. So give me the +3.5 here with Vandy.
1 point on that is that this is actually Texas's first true road game in over a month. That Texas-Oklahoma game, that's played on a neutral site somewhere. So this is the first game on campus.
But wasn't that neutral site, wasn't it an hour away?
Oh yeah. Like they have the advantage,
Yeah.
but just saying to your point that this is a difficult environment. I have a big play in this game, so I'm actually not going to talk about this one.
That's fair. I'm trying to think. There's some other good games on this weekend. That Georgia-Florida game is going to be big, I think. I can't wait to watch Boston College beat Notre Dame.
I remember the days when that used to be a competitive battle.
That was a fight.
The thing about that, though, is you got to remember Notre Dame has to not just win, but style points matter now. There is incentive for teams to blow out opposition, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Like this Boston College team lost at home by 31 points to Clemson. That's not a very good Clemson team. They gave up 38 points at home to North Carolina or to Connecticut. This Notre Dame offense is better than that Connecticut one. Notre Dame, despite facing frequently inflated lines, being one of the most public teams in the country, they're actually 19-7 against the spread overall over their last 26 games. They've been one of the best teams against the spread in college football over the last 3 years. That's really impressive to do. Again, considering you have to pay that Notre Dame tax on all their lines. They're also 17-5 against the spread in their last 22 road games. Real Joe Beef, Iowa State might just suck. I'm starting to come to that. Realization. Like that Kansas State win at the beginning of the year and the Iowa win, like they were good in like early August and September. I keep counting on them to show up and be like a legit ass.
Right.
Maybe they're just not. Maybe they're just not very good. That's kind of my take. They should win. I mean, Sam Leavitt's out for Arizona State. Arizona State is hanging by a thread. They took their third conference loss. Like basically all their hopes and dreams got squashed. Like Iowa State should lay the wood, but who have we seen them play well against this year? Frankly,
really, nobody.
It's time to get off. It might be time to get off that Iowa State bandwagon. They just might not be.
Yeah, and I think this is funny. The Manning is trash and overhyped so far. I agree. It was funny is at the beginning of the year you're talking about Manning, but you might as well just gave him the Heisman right then and there. With the way before the season started, everybody was ready just to hand him the keys to everything. And now you got Pavia coming in there, Robert's adopted son coming in there, and he's fighting for the actual Heisman Trophy. So I just think how the tides have changed 10 weeks into the season, by the way, 2 months ago. So I think that's Manning is awful. That line has actually moved a little bit. I have not checked today on Manning's status. I'm wondering if that movement from 2.5 to 3.5 through that key number, I wonder if that means that Manning is going to play in this game. I will say that I do have a big play in this game, and my handicapping had absolutely nothing to do with Arch Manning, whether he plays or whether he doesn't play. Does not change who I like in this game at all. I don't care if he plays or not. That's fair. Somebody asked me earlier about the Knights hockey Avalanche and the Golden Knights draw. I want to be on that draw today, but it's at 1:00 in the afternoon out here, Eastern or Pacific time. Hockey played on a Friday at 1:00 in the afternoon is weird, so I don't want nothing to do with it. It's just I don't understand why, so I don't want nothing to do with that game. I'm more take the Red Wings and the Anaheim Ducks draw tonight.
Interesting.
The Wings played. They're on their West Coast road trip. Yesterday was game one of it. They played the LA Kings. They went into a draw, won that game 4-3 in a shootout. Now they're going to go back-to-back nights in Anaheim. There's no drive, probably. I mean, whatever. LA, Anaheim. They're going to play the Ducks. The Ducks are horrible. The Ducks are they're not a great team. I don't care. Their record's a little great right now. Again, we played like 10 games in the NHL. But the Red Wings can't put anybody away. So they'll hang around, play the draw, sprinkle, move on to
first place in the Eastern Conference. In the Atlantic, excuse me. First place in the Atlantic for those Detroit Red Wings. And I still don't trust them any further than I could bowl them. Felt bad.
They're young. They're a bubble team. They're a bubble team.
Strike Point Sports. That was their 7-unit play last night. Was on the Kings. And I bet that myself. I tailed that. Came back from down 3-1. Set it overtime. Lose the shootout. Always a heartbreaker when you lose.
That just sucks.
Yeah.
I know.
I've lost 5 in a row in shootouts or overtime in the NHL. That's why it's gambling, right? Like if it were easy, everybody would do it.
I gotta go, Lenny. I know that this game starts at 1:00 in Vegas, but I gotta go with the Golden Knights here. They just picked up after that win in their last performance against Carolina. They're 6-3 on the road. They dropped 2 on the road, so they're coming back off a road series here. So it's going to be good for them to get a game here at home. You got the crowd with you. I know this Colorado team's legit. They score, but Blackwood is making the start here in net for the Colorado Avalanche. This is his first start this year. I like the plus money on the home team, Golden Knights, today.
I wouldn't be opposed to that at all. I don't hate the Knights at home. If I'm gonna play the Knights, I'm playing them in regulation. And if I don't, for a little bit more plus money. But if I don't get on that bet, yeah, I'll play the overtime in the draw because the Avalanche 3 out of the last 5 games went to overtime. 1 out of the Knights 5 games went to overtime. That's a team when they're 3 out of their last 5 games are going into overtime. That's a team that can't put it away. That's what that is. And if they can't put it away and do it in 60 minutes, that's fine. Both teams, the Colorado Avalanche and the Vegas Golden Knights, will be competing for the Western Conference Championship in the playoffs. So
first.
Oh, that's not a hot take.
Like a word. Hold on, it's Friday. We can't get out of here without talking any NBA because it is Friday. You got any NBA for me, Nick?
I'll give you a free play. Got to go with the Pacers. I gave you a free play actually Wednesday, and they covered, I should say. They're still winless on the season, and you don't have Trae Young in the lineup here tonight, so I think we can take advantage of it. The Pacers have been playing very good teams here. I think they break the seal and get their first win here tonight. They are plus 2.5 at home. If you want to be safe, take the +2, but if you want to be a little more risky, put your nuts on the table, take a money line here. I think they get their first win tonight.
I'm looking at Denver too. I said yesterday when talking with Craig, and he was surprised to hear my take on this. I think that Denver is the second best team in the NBA right now. Right behind, you still got to give it with Oklahoma City, even though Oklahoma City isn't fully healthy. Denver is awesome. They have 3 guys averaging over 20 points. You know, Jokic is the best player in the world, all-time great. When Murray is healthy, they're a completely different animal, and he is healthy right now. One of the low-key best moves of the offseason were them getting rid of Michael Porter. I feel like they're role players now. Everybody is just kind of on the same page, has just kind of accepted their role. I know Portland's playing well, playing a little better than expected. Those young, fresh legs coming into the season hot. But Denver is just – they're awesome. They're awesome. They won by 40 last time out. Go ahead.
Well, why are the Bulls getting points?
Come on. 4-0, baby. 4-0.
I don't know. Why are they getting points at home?
Because the Knicks are probably the best team in the East. They're also a little bit more of a public team, and the market just has no belief in the Bulls because why would you? Basically, for the last 8 years, you know, they've kind of shown us who they are. But I'm with you, Nick. I like the way that they're playing. They're not just winning; they're playing some pretty good basketball. I think that they'll be a live dog tonight. I know that Rafael Esparza has a top play in that game. I'm not going to tell you which side. This one was a stay away for me, but he has a big play in that game. So if you really want action in that one, go use the free 60 and go get his pick.
There you go. Free $60 account link is in the description of the video.
No, Dylan. No on South Carolina against Ole Miss.
Ole Miss rolls them.
That should be kind of a stay away. Like Ole Miss is the same thing. They have had to exert a lot of energy the last couple of weeks. They had that game at Georgia that they had 1 through 3 quarters, and then they threw up on themselves in the 4th quarter. It was a tough win at Oklahoma. Like that was a really impressive win. That's the type of win I haven't seen Lane Kiffin teams get on the road against a tough defense, tough environment. Like they played really well last week to beat Oklahoma. In South Carolina, they had Alabama on the ropes. They had Alabama beat last week. They gave up 2 touchdowns in the last 4 minutes of that game to lose by 7. Now they're on the road, night game, I believe, in Oxford. You got to wonder what South Carolina is going to have in the tank. Ole Miss, when they beat people, they usually beat them pretty badly. And if South Carolina is still having a letdown, still having a hangover from letting that Alabama game get away, then this one could get ugly, like 40-21 type stuff.
Interesting stuff there, folks. All right, well, that's going to do it for us. Monday through Friday, we're here, Docs Daily, 1 o'clock Eastern. Don't forget to like, share, comment, all that good stuff. You watch the show afterwards. Check out Robert and Craig Trapp on Monday going over all things college basketball on Docs Daily. I'll be here tomorrow with Griffin Murphy, Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern, talking all things college football. And that's going to do it. Have a happy, safe Halloween tonight. And, Nick, you got any party words?
8-unit game of the year Sunday. Let's
roll.
Robert says don't come to his house unless you're bringing candy. He ain't giving shit out. Good luck unless you're against us. Take care, folks.